What's up, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to rFactor 2, and I could not be more excited about this. At long last, we thought we would have it in 2018, but we didn't. But at long last, we have the Reiza Studios DLC for rFactor 2. So what is this? Reiza Studios is actually the company behind a game you've seen me feature on this channel many times, which is Automobilista. Automobilista could definitely be considered a hardcore sim, and it's based on the rFactor 1 engine, meaning it's older. It's DX9, I believe. It has no VR, and I love it. There's a lot of things to really enjoy about it. The tire modeling, the force feedback is fantastic. The sound is fantastic, and a lot of other things in it. It has a lot of content that you wouldn't find in other sims, but it certainly is sort of limited by being built on the rFactor 1 engine. So what Reiza Studios did is they partnered with Studio 397, the team behind rFactor 2, and brought some of the best content from Automobilista, which you may hear me call AMS throughout this video, and brought it to rFactor 2. So pretty amazing. And so there's 6 cars we get with this, and 4 tracks, and within those 4 tracks we have multiple layouts. So I'm not going to go into every single car in this video. It would be a bit overwhelming, nor will I do every layout of every track. So I'm just going to do 3 drives here, guys. I'm going to take first the Metal Maro AJR out to Virginia International Raceway, which is what you're seeing on your screen now. As well, we'll take the Metal Maro MR18 out to Imola, which some of you are very excited about on its own, the Imola track, of course. And then finally the Puma, which you may hear me call Puma by accident. That's kind of how we say it in Canada. The Puma P052 we will take out to Ibarra. Ibarra is a lesser known track, but one of my favorites from Automobilista. So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's get out there on track and start driving some of this DLC that I've been so hyped for a very long time. Let's go. Alright, guys, so to start things off, here we are in the Metal Maro AJR here at Virginia International Raceway. Just going to do one out lap and then one somewhat high-speed lap. I don't know the course hardly at all, so I will be taking things pretty easy. Alright, we've been given the green light here. Pit limiter is off. And we're off to the races. You can see how fast this AJR is. And again, bear with the driving here. So a little bit about the AJR. The AJR, probably in my top 20 all-time in sim racing. I think Reiza does a fantastic job with this car. If you're a fan at all of LMP2 or LMP3 or something like that, you will really enjoy this car. Whoa. Alright, well, that has nothing to do with knowing the course, but yeah, just tried to accelerate in neutral. Anyway, so here we are, windy S section here at Virginia, but back to the car. I absolutely love this car, like I was saying. It's quite stable, almost like a GT3 car or something like that. But very, very fast, and has that prototype originality. Very unique looking car. And sometimes on the side here at Virginia International you can see some cars moving. So Reiza and Studio 397 have decided to put a little bit of animation into this course, which is cool. Very, very tricky section here. Fast left into a slow right. Then down the hill, almost like a corkscrew here at Laguna Seca. And then another tricky section here, blind right-hander. Well, actually a blind setup to the right-hander there. To finish the lap. So we'll just do one more, guys. But Virginia looking really cool in this Metal Maro AJR. I did have a chance to practice with it at Imola and really push it, and it is absolutely outstanding. It behaves very well in the limit. And then one of the things I really love about Automobilista is that you can feel the limit so well that it just kind of challenges you to keep pushing and try and find a new limit, try and beat your old time by fractions of a second. And it seems like rFactor 2, Studio 397 have done a really great job keeping that effect. This AJR, hard as you push it, you can feel the edge of traction. You can push a little bit further. It's very cool. Yeah, very nice, this Virginia. I'm going to have to do some races here to get more used to it. Whoa, like that. You don't want to do that too often. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this AJR. Like I said, they seem to have captured the magic from Automobilista that I loved about it so much. Yeah, this course is definitely growing on me. A lot of work to be done, but it feels phenomenal. And a tremendous, tremendous flow to this track. Well, very impressed, guys. First car, first track. I'm loving it.
That was a 154.9.
Definitely could be in the 140s. A lot of room for improvement. All right, guys, let's move on to the next. All right, guys. So next up, we are in the pits here at Imola on board the Metalmarl MR18. And perhaps more notably here at Imola. So we're excited to have Imola finally join rFactor 2. There have been mod versions of it, but nice to have it officially. It looks great. It drives great. Seems like a very accurate representation of what's in Automobilista. And we actually have two layouts, the 1972 version and the 2018 version. So very cool. So the Metalmarl MR18 is kind of a sort of more mechanical version of the AJR that we drove at Virginia. And by the way, I forgot to mention two layouts of Imola, and there's actually 5 layouts of Virginia International Raceway included in this pack. So yeah, sort of a more mechanical feeling. Not certainly more than you would take on the road as a daily driver, but feels a bit toned down. Certainly less downforce. Plays nicely in rFactor 2. Can really feel that edge of traction as always. And if you're having trouble with rear grip in this thing coming into corners, just give the throttle a little stab as you're downshifting. Seems to help. And I'm just so impressed by how these things translated so nicely. I thought there would be some loss of something going from AMS to rFactor 2, but it seems perfectly accurate, and the things I really loved about these cars in AMS just seems to be captured perfectly here in rFactor 2. Just very, very impressed with these. And by the way, your start-finish line is all the way down here in the AMS version. If you're used to the Assetto Corsa version, and thinking you're just about to set the most amazing lap time in history, and then you realize the start-finish line is way, way down the line. Just an FYI. You can hear that slight loss of traction there. But again, it's just so amazing to feel this in rFactor 2. Just feel the limits. Of course, another advantage is that we will have VR now with these cars. which is something you do not have in AMS. Whoops. But I know a lot of you don't like watching VR videos, so I will save that for a different time. So impressed by these cars. We're only going to do one more in this video, guys. I've decided to break this up into 2 parts. And we'll finish up this lap and then move on to the final car. But I mean, on these 2 cars alone and these 2 tracks, I mean, this pack seems worth it to me. They're just incredibly well done. See, the start-finish line is usually there in Assetto Corsa, but then it's all the way down here.
The lap was
So 153.
3.91.
Very well done. Alright guys, let's move on to the Puma. Alright guys, so the final car and track of this first of 2 videos, we are at Ibarra, the beautiful Ibarra, in the Puma 052, P052. And you may hear me call it Puma. We say Puma in Canada, but I know that makes a lot of people quite upset, so I will do my best to say Puma. And again, you see the animated cars off to the side. That's kind of cool. So it's a really great track. I love this track. It was one of the, maybe even the last addition to Automobilista as official content. In terms of tracks, and then the Puma pack definitely was. So we got 4 Pumas as part of the last update for AMS. Whoops, why did I do that? Just blew out my transmission. Oh my goodness, this thing is so fantastic. Guys, listen, I just can't throw enough praise at this pack. It's so good. This car feels amazing. It's difficult to give a translation of what a car feels like, of course, in a video. But these cars feel amazing. I never thought I knew I would like this pack. I didn't think it would feel as good as AMS, but I think it feels better. Hats off to Reiza, hats off to Studio 397 for combining efforts and really bringing out the best of these cars. Absolutely fantastic. Can't remember what I was saying before that. Something about the Pumas. As you can see, I'm a little rusty at Ibarra. But yeah, we got 4 Pumas in the last AMS update. Only 2 of them made it to this Reiza pack for rFactor 2, but that's okay. How many Pumas does a guy really need? Absolutely amazing. Surprisingly, this might actually be my favorite car so far. I'd like to get this out to Imola, a track I know a little bit better, and really start to push its limits. Very, very good. All right, we're going to do one more lap, guys, and just kind of sum things up. So, obviously, we've only driven 3 of the 6 cars. and 3
1:37.78.
and 3 of the 4 tracks. But there's so many layouts to the tracks too. You could sort of just keep compounding things, and you know, it goes on and on as far as new content in this Reiza pack. But so impressed with what I've driven so far. It's just a great little pack. So $20 Canadian, is it cheap? No. You could pretty much have all of Automobilista, including the DLC, for that if you catch it on the right sale. But it just translates so well to rFactor 2. And eventually, I will be doing a review like this in VR. Perhaps this weekend. But just wanted to give you guys a quick preview. And if you're on the fence, I mean, strong endorsement from me. You may want to wait for a few other reviews, as I always recommend people do. But this one gets a strong endorsement from me. It's absolutely phenomenal. This Puma, very similar if you're a fan of the MX-5 in Assetto Corsa, which I know so many of you are, or iRacing, then you might want to go down this road, the Puma 052. You can buy the cars individually, by the way. I think it's about $4 for the cars, Canadian, $4.50, something like that, and then $10 for the tracks. Or you can pay $30 and get it all.
The lap was a 1:37.16.
I love it so much, I'm going again, guys. Every little bit of tire slip, everything translates so nicely here. And you can hear, maybe you can hear, probably can't hear it over my dumb voice, but you can hear the tires squealing, just kind of begging for mercy around this Ibarra track. And that translates so nicely to the wheel. Could not be more impressed with this car track combo. Oh man, I'm loving this. Like I said, I knew it would be good. I didn't think it would be this good though. Whoops, bit wide through here. Alright, this will be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Reiza pack is now available to you through the Steam Workshop, excuse me, through Steam as DLC.
1:35.46.
And just absolutely loving it. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.